The Dome of the Rock, or Rock al-Sakra, is an Islamic shrine that is located in Jerusalem, Israel. The shrine is the oldest existing Islamic monument. The building was erected between 685 and 691 AD. The rock the building is built upon is known as the Temple Mount. The Temple Mount is sacred to both Jews and Muslims. When the Dome of the Rock was built, it was intended to be a masjid, or a shrine for the pilgrims, rather than a public place of worship. It is one of the first monumental buildings in Islamic history to have aesthetic and architectural importance. Interestingly, this Islamic building was influenced by Christian architecture. The structure was built to compete with the Church of the Holy Grail, which is the location where Jesus Christ was buried. A scholar of Muslim structures commented that the Dome of Rock was conceived in a manner and setting meant to entirely overwhelm and overshadow the Christian shrine. When comparing the Dome of the Rock and the Holy Sepulchre, one would find that the inner measurements of the dome are virtually identical. Apart from the competitive nature with which the shrine was built, the structure was built to mark the location from which Muhammad ascended to heaven, as well as the site of Abram's sacrifice and Solomon's temple. With its striking golden dome, which spans more than 65 feet in diameter, the Dome of Rock pierces the modern skyline of Jerusalem. Also visible from afar are the royal blue, white, yellow, and green glazed tiles that create a spectacular skin for the outer walls. Covering the interior surfaces are stained glass windows, golden mosaics, gilded woodwork, and polished marble. A mosaic inscription runs nearly 800 feet long in narrow strips on both sides of the octagonal interior. This mosaic is the earliest example of Arabic script used as a part of a decorative scheme. The building has many of the fundamental elements found in classical architecture, including symmetry, centric space, and a strong sense of negative and positive space. One of the most dominating elements found within the space is hierarchy. The most obvious example of hierarchy that the Dome of Rock creates is the space in which the rock occupies. The rock is in direct opposition to the ornate and regal designs that adorn much of the interior walls. The obvious difference in the space creates a tension that draws visitors' attention to the rough and natural texture of the rock.